Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, the 24th of February, and you are on the Daily Huddle. Whether you're watching us 50 years from now or right now live with us, today's question is just for you because you're a business owner who's concerned with your employees doing the right things right, and even doing the right things right the first time. So today's question is just for you. Why most companies struggle to get employees to do the right thing right? Well, I'll jump straight to the secret. It's a secret because for most people running companies, it's probably the last thing they'll think about doing. So I'll begin with the answer and then we'll peel the onion to see what's going on underneath. People struggle, companies struggle to have employees, to get employees to do the right thing right. Because when they create the methods, the procedures, the operating procedures, the processes for employees to do the right thing right, they fail to do one thing. They fail to heed a fundamental principle that goes like this. People support what they help create or what they see as theirs. I'll repeat the principle because I can hush right after saying it, and then you go unpeel it yourself, and you'll discover in your life, in the running of your company, in your relationships, that until you heed this principle, the people around you, your company, will struggle to get your employees to do the right things right, especially doing the right things right the first time. So here's the principle one more time. People support what they help create or what they see as theirs. That's a leadership principle. And here's how it works. I'm going to tell you a little story about an organization called Haiti Outreach. I'm on the board of this organization. And as most non-governmental organizations, NGOs, would have it, is that when they see a problem in the field, say absence of clean water, they rush right in to provide clean water. Doesn't that make sense? Well, for 25 years, Haiti Outreach has been in existence. And one of the things it has taught me is that, yes, it is real. People do support what they help create or see as theirs. So it begins like this. For the first 15 years of its existence, Haiti Outreach would go to communes in Haiti, find places where there was not access to clean potable water. They would dig and cap a well and gift it to the community. Guess what happened? For as long as Haiti Outreach was there supervising the well would stay running, it would stay in good condition, and it would continue to provide the gift that was there to provide clean potable water for the community. Guess what happens? The minute the staff of Haiti Outreach leaves, the well slowly degrades, the condition of the pump deteriorates, maybe a year max. If not a year, maybe 18 months, that well is no longer functioning. And we at Haiti Outreach started asking this question. Why is it so? People want clean water. People suffer without clean water. They get all kinds of waterborne diseases, you name it. And yet, in our absence, the very property that we say is theirs, the very property that we say keeps them surviving and healthy, they let run dry. They let be destroyed. So, what is it? Slowly but surely, we started to discover the difference between what we call relief and development. And this is right inside of the principle. People support what they help create or what they see as theirs. In an environment where I, as a company leader, I, as an owner, business owner, I create processes, I create methods and procedures, I create processes and ways to do things right, and then, quote unquote, gift them or impose them on the employee body. What happens is the same phenomena that happens when Haiti Outreach takes a well, imposes it, or gifts it to a community and give it away. The people who receive the gift enjoy it for as long as it lasts, but they never see it as theirs because they didn't take part in making it, in creating it. And given that that's the case, they couldn't see it as theirs. And there's something in the human brain that treats what's not mine in a specific way, and it's inevitable. It's not like they're bad employees or bad human beings. No, they did not have the opportunity to participate in the conception, the birthing, and the making of what it is that they're using. Now, for a business owner, it's as difficult to do what Haiti Outreach had to do as it is for the people in those communities to actually take on the well and say, this is my own. No one in our experience has ever been able to say, this is mine, unless they participated in its creation. So here's the deal. When Haiti Outreach studied its wells over the course of the first 15 years of its existence, we found that the majority, once we left them on their own, the majority, and I do mean majority, over 90% of the wells 18 months later would be broken, not working. It's as if people are nuts. You need clean water, don't you? Why don't you create it? Well, here's what we had to do. So 15 years into the whole thing, we said, you know what? Maybe relief, as good as it feels for me to do, doesn't work in real life. And for business owners, what I'm equating to relief is the fact that I may be smart, I may hire a consultant, I may do whatever I need to do to bring the right processes in place. But unless I find a way to help my employees create and build it, they'll never see it as theirs. And that, folks, is really hard work. Because here's how it unfolds in real life through the story of a well done right in Haiti. So we first go to a community. Now, this is round two, right? We're saying we're giving up the idea of providing relief. And we're going to this phase called development. And in the phase called development, we're going to heed this principle, the principle that says people support what they help create or what they see as theirs. So, how do we go about people in a commune in Haiti seeing a well that they need as theirs? Well, this is how we begin. We go to the commune and we say, so, how is it going? They start talking to us. And then we say, what about clean water? What is it like getting clean water over here? And they say, well, there's this river 2 miles down the road. We go down to the river and we find a place where the water's kind of still and it looks clean. And we scoop to the very top. And sometimes we have to scoop to the very bottom to get the cleanest water possible. We put it in a bucket, and then we take the bucket, we put the bucket on our heads, and we walk 2 miles back home. And we drink that water with our fingers crossed. Hopefully, it doesn't get us sick. But you know what? 50% of the time, it gets us sick, and we don't like that. And we ask them, we say, so do you want to continue to live life that way? They go, no. And then we say, so what kind of water would you like? They say, well, we'd like clean water. And we say, so for how long? For a day? For 2 days? They go, no. By the time we finish the conversation, they realize for themselves that they want clean water, but they don't just want it for a period. They want it for the rest of their lives and their children's lives and the next generation's lives. So the processes of owning a future, the process of owning collectively something that they want begins in that conversation. So if you map that conversation over to a conversation that you can have with your employees when creating processes, when creating procedures, when creating methods of operation, it may sound as if it takes too long. Why not just take the methods and procedures and impose them? That would be quick, wouldn't it? However, mark my words, it's worth every minute to actually take the time to have the conversation that lets your employees discover the impact of the absence of the processes for themselves and the benefits of the presence of these processes for themselves. That's how ownership begins. So we do that. Now, by the time we get to that point with a commune in Haiti, they're chomping at the bit. They want clean water. And they go, so now that we've done this, are you going to give us a well now? And we go, no, it's not over yet. Let's look. Now, what will it take for you to keep this well as yours, to maintain it and all that good stuff? And they start to think and they go, well, there's a pump. The pump's going to break. We're going to need money to replace the parts. And if we don't pay a technician, we're going to need one of our own to be trained to be a technician to repair the pump. And, if we leave the pump wide open, there will be vandalism. Somebody would come in, play with the pump, a well-meaning child who's just having fun, break the pump. Oh, gosh, we're going to need a guard to actually care for the well-being of the pump. Better than a guard, what if we enclosed the well, had a gate that's locked, and created hours of operation? But to do all that, we'd need to pay for it. Oh, maybe the people in the commune need to each pay for the water that they're consuming. Because you see, before that epiphany, the idea of paying for the water they get from a well was very foreign to people in a commune that Haiti Outreach serves in Haiti. But to go through that process, that takes about 6 months for them to discover what to the technicians and the board members of Haiti Outreach find just obvious. It takes them about 6 months to discover. So from the beginning to 6 months later, there's what's created inside of each person in a commune who says, I agree to pay for the water I'm going to get. I agree to submit to the authority of a guard who says that the hours are from here to here in the morning and from here to there in the afternoon, and no other time will I get water. I agree to bring a clean bucket with a cover, or else I will not be allowed to take water. All of that, Haiti Outreach and its staff had nothing to do with creating it, even though we know what it's going to be. The residents of the commune created all of that, or they helped create all of that as we facilitated a conversation among them. So they help create it, they see it as theirs, and then on a day after they've taken a census, confirmed with signature that every single resident in the commune has agreed to pay and has agreed to follow the rules, and that all the conditions for cleanliness has been met, we begin construction. But we don't just do the construction. We hire the members of the community to do the construction. So by the time the well is done, the enclosure is done, it's painted by them, it's labeled by them. They not only see it as theirs, they want to celebrate it as theirs. So there is an inauguration that they create as a commune, that they run as a commune to celebrate for the first time, maybe in their lifetime, that they're sharing a collective asset that they created themselves, that they're going to enjoy for the rest of their lives and gift to the next generation. Now, think of that process and think of everything you've ever wanted to implement in your company, whether it's just methods and procedures, however big or however small, and think of the consequences of not involving people in the creation of it, the building of it, the implementation of it, and the use of it. Begin to think that absent heeding this little principle called people support what they help create or see as theirs, your company will continue to struggle to get employees to do the right things right, especially to get employees to do the right things right the first time. I'm going to pause here to answer a few questions and then close out with the rest of the story regarding people in Haiti, working with Haiti Outreach, doing the right things right the first time through heeding this principle. So I'd love to hear from you. Questions, comments, how are you seeing the absence or the presence of this principle unfold in real life, in your community, in your company, in your relationships? Kurt? I'm going to come right to you and ask you a question.
Okay,
Uh,
go
I
for it.
know the work that you do is heavily community based.
Yes.
Uh, how do you engage people in heeding this principle? People support what they help create or what they see as theirs. How do you engender that kind of ownership in your realm?
Well, right off the bat, there's a couple of examples. I'm involved in mutual aid networks, and they adopt a governance model called sociocracy, which is designed that, even a new person being introduced to our group can play a role in, evolving action and the agreed next steps of the group. And it's, kind of in a circle format, so to speak. We might be on Zoom and whatever, it may not look like a circle, but that's the concept, is that, almost like the Knights of the Round Table type thing, where everybody's got an equal stake in the action conducted in the meeting, and using ideas like, is it safe enough to try, and such like that, so that any person's idea that if there's not a risk to the group, if there's not a drawback, if it seems like it'll net some sort of result and it's safe enough to try, we go ahead and do that. Another example would be with Spirit of the Game. We're very keen to try to bring out the leadership in everybody who wants to rise and be a leader. So we, get into role development, so that's very key. So then if somebody identifies that they're playing a role in the function in the operation of Spirit of the Game, like me, I'm U.S. chair for the Impactful Veterans Network. So now I own that space. I look in the U.S. to see how we can grow this space and devotion, to our veterans, under the formats of Spirit of the Game. So um, so those are a couple examples right off the bat that, yeah, I'm seeing that when you're trying to facilitate group activities, that instead of just creating a group and they're like, all right, this is what you need to do. And then if you create that feeling that somebody is just being asked to carry out what others have determined for them to do, you start to see, not only may they not do that, because a lot of what we're involved with is, voluntary. We'll just see them drift away. And it goes exactly to your point. If they're not seeing that self-efficacy, that they're carrying out what they came to the table to do, they're lost and they move on to something else where they can find that.
Yeah, it's almost as if there's a natural human tendency to be lost absent that kind of ownership. And
Yep.
ownership doesn't necessarily mean they created it from a blank slate. Ownership means that they actually saw the beginnings of something and they got to participate in shaping it into its final form. Another leadership tenet there is that the things that I bring to the party, the things that you bring to the party as a team leader or community owner or company owner, they don't need to be fully baked. You know, the more finished the product that a leader brings to the party, the the less is the participation in the creation. So have the heart and the guts to throw something out there that's totally raw. It's like, here it is. This is what the end looks like. How do we pull this together? Yeah. Uh, Kurt, in some instances where people have drifted away, uh, what would you say was the point where you saw that, oh my God, I'm violating this principle? I didn't give people the opportunity to participate in the creation, the implementation, and here they are drifting. Uh, what's been the impact of that?
Well, it drives the next conversations. I find that, people have a hard time, taking a look at, you know, how we've contributed or how I've contributed to disserve somebody and to lack empowerment, for that person and to, make those changes to own, our responsibility to somebody in a team, to cultivate that future with a person. I think, a lot of people feeling, and me overlooking it too, that every
Yeah,
time somebody shows up, there's an opportunity to be honored that they chose to spend time with us and to realize that people are constantly gauging like the expression of the pain of change being less than the pain of staying the same. So basically if somebody comes to your group, they're evaluating, am I better off disengaging and going back to the same thing I was always doing, or is this group offering me a way of path of least resistance, or is there some advantage to the group? And unless we distill that and allow people to, be equal with us, the idea of being equally yoked, and if there's a feeling of people that are in our midst being subservient to us and just carrying out, what we identify with, you know, they get lost. So like you said, it's in the conversation, it's in the
yeah.
communication. So when we're having meetings, we have to take that point in the meeting and let that person share, something. So we have
Yeah,
to figure out those
absolutely.
high yielding questions to ask somebody participating in any meeting we have.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you. Molly, it's your turn. You had your hand up.
Yeah, hi, Saurel.
Hey, Molly.
Um, okay, so I was
Can you
wondering,
come on camera, Molly? There you are.
um, I was wondering, I'm a solopreneur and, my company I did not create on my own. I got help, but it's all about my experiences, the company. So in a way, I do follow that principle, but then in a way, I don't. But I don't have any team members to share with. So,
Mm.
um,
And
what do you think?
you're wondering if you don't have any team members to share with, how do you follow the principle?
Mm,
Okay, I got it. So first of all, Molly, thank you for creating a second later. It's
yeah.
been a while since you've been on the Daily Huddle to share that story. And I'd love for you to come back and share the story with the world. And I'm inviting you to do that. So in this moment, you may consider that having a team member doesn't necessarily mean that they work for you or they're part of your company. What if the whole world, like everyone you encountered, was a team member? Like your
Like
approach,
everyone, like everyone I speak to.
yeah, like anyone you speak to is a team member, and that the conversation you have with them is such that they get to create the story themselves. So I'll stop here and practice what we're preaching regarding the principle. So, assuming, Molly, that everyone or anyone you speak to is a team member, how would that view shape the way you speak with anyone?
So you want me to, but they can't really create their own story.
Yeah.
Um, they're not really able to create their own viewpoint because that's what I do. I warn people against distracted driving and I give my story for an example.
Yeah. So if I hear you, you're saying that when you speak to anyone, you would create the space for them to share their own story.
Right, but they really can't while I'm sharing mine.
And then how would how would you heeding the principle change your approach, if at all?
Um, I'm just not sure that I quite use a principle.
Well, you never know. You know, your story is really poignant. What if in an upcoming conversation you just tried it out? Because this is all a conversation. You try it out. It may work, it may not work. The idea is heeding the principle to see what if you approached someone, the next person you approached, and you said, you know, I'm standing for the impact of distracted driving. And I'd love to hear a story from your life about how distracted driving showed up and has impacted you. And then,
That's really, that's a great idea because
yeah,
I do ask for questions, but I've never said, can anyone give it their own example?
yeah. Because guess what? I mean, I've woken up like really tired, like very tired, and I'm standing at a light. And it was just a microsecond, and I'll wake up and I go, oh my God, I fell asleep at the light. Uh,
Mm.
you know, I'm almost embarrassed to say that because I know better. I know to get adequate rest so I'm not distracted while driving. So distracted driving shows up in so many ways. And I think every single person on the face of the planet probably has a story of their own that they could share. So, in that sense, heeding the principle, even though it doesn't shift your stand for the impact of distracted driving, it could shift your stand for the rest of humanity. That maybe your stand could be, and we're just playing with this, right? Your stand could be that the rest of the world is sharing their stories about distracted driving.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll do that next time.
yeah. Thank you, Molly. Thank you for assisting and illustrating what could be a breakthrough that heeding this principle could cause for companies of any size, even a solopreneur.
Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, everyone. It's 5 after, gang. Time flies on the Daily Huddle. So this is your huddle for this Monday morning. Tomorrow is Tuesday. You know what's coming, right? It's communication and relationship with Tara Heaton and the gang. I do call them the gang. Four phenomenal coaches on communication and relationship. So you do not want to miss tomorrow. Tune in live at 9 a.m. right here with us, or follow us on YouTube at The Daily Huddle. I will end today with our 7+1 tenets. Love. Love all you can. Love the people you love to hate. Laugh out loud. I don't care if you find a comedy show, find somebody to tickle you, stumble. Have you ever been walking on a well-polished floor and you trip on the floor? Like nothing's there and you tripping. That happened to me the other day. And this lady goes, don't fall. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought no one saw me. But it was an opportunity to just laugh out loud because life is that funny and it's that short to take too seriously. So eat mostly plant-based that will help you to stress less. When you eat that well and move your body, it will help you sleep and rest. And you will awaken feeling like you are so generous that you can give anything and everything you've got. And last but not least, folks, just when you think you're right, consider that you may be wrong. Check your assumptions and join us right back here tomorrow morning and every weekday morning for the Daily Huddle from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Until then.